la la, watching Sunday. What's up, Sunday fam? Welcome back to another video, Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, episode 3 and 4. Let's talk about it.
So let's touch on episode 3 really quickly. In episode 3, what we learned about Hye Jin is that she's starting to get a little bit more acquainted, especially for the grandmas in town, taking them on a trip to Seoul.
Absolutely. That was completely forced on her by Chief Hong as she was on her way to, I guess, her university. One of her friends from university getting married, and you know, she went to Seoul. Chief Hong was outside her door. It was like, we need to give these grandmas a ride, and a road trip ensues where, you know, old people bladders come into play, and they
I have the same
like
problem. I have to make tons of stops. I have a very small bladder, I guess, but the more I drink water, the more I have to take trips to the bathroom. But in any case, we find out a little bit more about Hye Jin, about her character, when she's having a conversation with her friends, how they were kind of like belittling small town folk, and then she kind of just like out of the air defends them. And we're starting to see her like personality come forward here.
얼마나 잘 돼 있다고. 나폴리 산토리니가 안 부럽다니까? 야, 그리고 병원 실속이 어마어마해.
But another thing that gets revealed is that Grandma Gamri has very sensitive teeth. Something's wrong with it, and she hasn't been paying attention to it. She can't even enjoy what she's been doing for decades, which is squid.
Yep.
Chief Hong brings her to Hye Jin at her clinic, and she's very adamant about not doing anything about it. We get this initial diagnosis from Hye Jin that she needs implants, and of course, she has this cold bedside manner towards Gamri, which Chief Hong objects to, but then they start to like talk to each other, they start to understand each other. Hye Jin goes to a restaurant and realizes that all of this food is just tough, and it should be tough for Gamri. Long story short, though, Gamri decides to finally take care of her teeth because of her family, and she gets the implants. And she can pay for it all. She's got a ton of money.
Well, a lot of that led towards her trying to pay for it all, but Gamri, grandma, decides to pay for it herself after having conversations that, you know, kids really just want their parents to take care of themselves, to be healthy, to be around, and that kind of shows Hye Jin's kind of past, right? The burden that she's been carrying, this thing with her mother not being around, who has passed. And so a lot of these things are starting to come into the mix, revealing her true nature, which is still inside her heart. But of course, her exterior is very representative of the hedgehog, very spiky.
이 고슴도치 꼭 칠 것 같아. 둘 다 뾰족뾰족 가시도친 게.
아, 뭐야?
We also get our first glimpse at our potential second lead in this drama. We have Jun, who is like a K-pop idol that Hye Jin used to be the dentist of, or still is. We're not quite sure, but
I think they were old friends, right?
Yeah, they went to the same school, and he's now in Gongji trying to film a variety program, or not even a variety program, maybe like a reality program. We don't know any details about that front, but he's there. And so this is going to present a problem for Chief Hong and Hye Jin in terms of like romance and progression in that front, because
do you think this is gonna be like a love triangle, like in the air?
Of course. It's K-drama 101. You know, he's going to meet Hye Jin.
He's probably always been in love with Hye Jin, but like just now that he's popular and made some kind of success, that maybe he can sweep back in and then win her heart.
Of course, he's always been in love. Like when you're choosing your dentist, right?
Really?
Yes. And then we move on to episode 4, where Chief Hong and Hye Jin's interests in each other start to take a massive rise as her dental clinic falls prey to a sexual predator. And he comes in like in response to this commotion at the clinic, like Ong Bak, and does like a Muay Thai knee to the face and just completely takes him out.
You have to also give a shout out to Hye Jin's nice kick there to the face.
Oh, absolutely.
That was like a 1-2 finisher right there. Like Hye Jin with the kick to the face, and then Chief Hong comes in on back style, knocking the guy out. But like,
very reminiscent of Sepul's fighting in Backstreet Rookie.
Oh yes, very nice, very good shout out.
진새끼가 진짜. 걔가 진짜. 야!
이런 미친년이 정말.
But it brings them even a little bit closer because Hye Jin wants to thank him properly, and so she buys him a nice bottle of wine that she can't seem to let go. And so there's this interesting moment where we kind of got shaken up a little bit when he suddenly comes out of nowhere and she's like, ah!
달콤하다고 했는데. 엄마 깜짝이야.
That was a priceless reaction. But all that led to this kind of intimate moment between them inside Chief Hong's house, where, you know, they're sharing the wine and then they move on to whiskey, and she's just opening up. She's letting down her walls and being very vulnerable to Chief Hong. And they realize, well, she spills because, you know, as you get drunker, you get more truthful.
Yep.
She was like, I'm very fascinated by you. And so their romance is definitely making a progressive leap.
And it all makes sense because at the beginning of episode 4, there were these sequences where they kept running into each other, where she got used to seeing him in these weird times during the day, and all of a sudden when he disappears or he doesn't show up, she misses him, but she just can't admit that she misses him. And so now
they were having this like meeting, this business owners meeting, and she's like, I have other plans, and then Chief Hong's gonna be there. He's like, I'll go.
And shout out to his singing ability there. He kind of made her kind of realize her feelings. They're starting to unfold, her heart's starting to flutter, and all the way to the end where they're sharing this drink and these intimate moments, he reaches her hands in front of her face to cool it down, and it was just like, this is when you reach in for a kiss.
This dynamic is also happening on Chief Hong's front, where he is having a complete day off. He's not helping anybody with their problems, but Gumri calls him, like, there's a problem at the clinic. He comes bolting down the street, and everyone's like, I thought he had a day off, and then he saves Hye Jin at the clinic. And so like both of them are kind of engaging in things that are out of character for them, but for each other.
Yeah. In any case, what do you think about the relationship? Leave it in the comment section below. What about June? Is there going to be a crazy love triangle that's introduced into this drama? Will we have second lead syndrome? Leave us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, tap that bell so you know when we post new videos, and once again, we'll see you next time. 그대네요 밤하늘의 별도 밝게 비춘 달도 그대 앞에 빛을 잃어요 감당할 수 없는 마음들이 날 힘들게